In the first design and build video for Pivot with Purpose in STEM, we created a mini racer that is powered on its own merit, its own wheels. In the second design and build video, part 2, we built a mini racer with a motor, a propeller, some wheels, and some batteries. I've taken the leads off the motor so that we don't use all the power of the battery and we don't burn out the motor. And if you are building something with a motor and with batteries, make sure you disconnect them so that you save power and that you don't burn out the motor or the batteries. For design and build part 3, we're going to use an engineering design challenge that I learned from my brother, Dr. Darin Gray, who is a biomedical electrical engineer with a PhD in cybersecurity. It will be a much simpler model, sort of bare bones, and we will see how it measures up to the other 2 mini racers. I'm Tracy Gray. Welcome to Pivot with Purpose in STEM. Let's get started. Let's review our materials. Finger protectors, glue gun and glue sticks, goggles, tape, tongue depressors, wheels and axles, cardboard and straws, wire cutter, scissors, batteries and battery holder, dowels, and motor. For this engineering design challenge, I am pulling my hair back so that it doesn't get stuck in any of the glue. I am putting on my goggles. Hope you have some. And I am putting on my finger protectors because we have our hot glue gun that's plugged in, and we want to make sure that we are being safe as often as possible. We don't want to burn our fingers. The glue gun is hot and it will burn your fingers. And so I want to make sure that you have all the materials that you need, okay, to ensure that you are safe. I have all 10 finger protectors on right now. I'm going to make a T-shape with some tongue depressors, some materials that we've used previously. I'm going to make a T-shape using my tongue depressors. I have my hot glue gun because I want the pieces to stick together because it's a little wide. And I want to make sure that we have everything we need for our battery holders. I'm going to put a little extra glue here. Okay. Now we have our T-shape. In the previous videos, I used the straw and the axle, and I cut the straw so that the axle would fit for our wheels. This time I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use a dowel this time, put this axle to the side, and I want it longer. So I'm going to put my straw to the side, and I'm going to tape 2 dowels together. Tape 2 dowels together, keep them secure. I may even glue them first. I may glue them first and put them together and tape them and put them inside the straw so that our wheels are a little longer. Not that our wheels are longer, that our axle is longer. Yes. So I'm going to take these two dowels, glue them together, and then tape them together and put them inside the straw together so that we have a longer axle for our wheels. I'm going to do something different too. I'm actually going to glue my wheels onto the dowels so that we have a different look for our mini racer. Remember, it's going to be a little simpler design. It may be better just to tape the dowel together. Something thin is here, piece here. I'm going to cut this extra off. And then I'm going to put another thin piece of tape on it. Let's hope that it can stay together. It won't be too thick to fit inside of the straw. Let's try it. It fits inside the straw. Okay, now I'm actually going to glue the straw on our T-shape before I put the dowel inside, which will be our new axle for our wheels. Okay. We have our finger protectors on. We're going to get an extra glue stick because our hot glue gun needs another stick. We're going to put this on here. So we want our straw to fit on here. We put this in place. As pretty as we can. Okay. And then next, we're going to put our dowel, which will be our axle, inside the straw. Yep. Okay, it fits inside. Next, we're actually going to glue the wheels onto the dowels. They'll move differently. There's movement here. They'll move differently with this design, okay? Okay, so I'm going to get our hot glue gun. We have our extra glue stick. Move our tape to the side. Okay, got our two wheels, our T-shape, our dowel, our straw. Let's see what happens. Our goal right now is to glue the wheel onto the dowel. We're testing this out. See how it would work. Okay. See how well this will stick. Okay. I'm going to put this on here, the glue on here. If it doesn't work, we may have to try something different. And we may have to put tape on here to keep it in place, which we're willing to do. Okay. That's one side. Okay. Let's try the other side. I'm going to see if we're able to glue this side. And like we said, we're willing to put tape on it. If you notice, I'm able to use my finger protectors to hold the glue in place. I definitely think I'm going to use some tape to hold it in place. Yeah. You see, this turns and it needs to be sturdier. So I'm going to take my finger protectors off. And I believe I'm going to use some electrical tape. That may stick a little better. Be a better adhesive for our wheels. I'm going to move our hot glue gun. It's cooled off quite a bit. See this? I think I'm going to cut this. Not as sturdy as I thought it would be. So I'm going to make it as sturdy as I can. Still wobbly. Still gonna try to hold it in place. And I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to try a little more electrical tape. Hold this up. Okay, that's one side. We're going to try the others. This side seems to be sturdier. I'm still going to put some tape on it. Make sure it stays in place. Oh, pretty long. Pretty long. You know what I think I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to remove one of the parts of this T. Ah, I know what I'll do. I'll remove a section of the T so that I can add the motor and the wheel. Let's see how it works. So I have my goggles on and I'm going to cut a piece of this T. Probably could have only used one, but I also want to make sure that I have enough space for my, yes, this is what I'll do. Because my battery holder is wide. I don't have a thin battery holder, so I'm going to add, I'm excited now. I'm going to add the motor onto this part of the T, if you can see, because I cut part of it off. And then I'll add our battery holder on here. Okay, so I'm going to move the scissors. Next, I'm going to get the new battery holder and the batteries. And I'm going to add the motor to this part of the T so that our wheel will move. And then I'm going to add our battery holder on here. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, I'm getting the hot glue gun. I'm putting the glue on top of the motor. You can see that. And then I'm putting the motor on our T-shape, allowing it to dry a bit. That looks pretty sturdy. I'm gonna hold it. It looks like there's enough space. I had to take it off because it was too far on there. Going to try it again. So I'm putting the glue on the motor. Okay. Now I am putting the motor on our T-shape and giving it enough space. Bring it in place. And holding it. Okay. Okay, that looks like it's going to move. All right. Got 3 wheels. 3 wheels. Okay. Now we're going to put our battery holder on our T-shape. So before we do that, I am definitely going to open up these wires so that we have more lead space for the leads. So I got this piece off of the wire. Now let's try the other side. If you have a good wire cutter, you can do this. My wire cutter is not doing what I wanted, so I'm using a scissor. And as always, adult supervision or adult use is required to make this happen. We get it? I think so. We got it. Okay, got it. Now we're going to put our battery holder on here. But first, what do we have to do? Our finger protectors. Gonna close our scissors, move them out of the way. We have our hot glue gun. And we're going to put our battery holder on our T-shape. Okay. Gonna put the hot glue gun away. Got our battery holder, got our wires. Okay. Putting our, and this is why we have our finger protectors. Because the glue is hot. Excited to see what happens with our simple shape for our mini racer. Okay, the glue is cooling off. Very excited about that. The glue is cooling off. Okay. Going to take our finger protectors off. I'm going to add our wire to the leads on the motor. I had to twist the wire so that it would fit inside. And do the same on this one. Which one's positive? Which one's negative? Okay. Added the wires to the leads on the motors. Let's see what happens when we add our batteries. I need to switch the wires so that the mini racer will go forward. Let's try it. So I flipped over our mini racer. I'm putting glue on the T-shape. And now I will add our motor to the T-shape. So I want it. Oh, I don't want it tangled. We want it put on properly. Hold it in place for a minute. Let the glue stick. Axle stay in place. Our wheel is in place. Our battery holder's in place. All the pieces are in place. Let's add our battery. We can take off our finger protectors now. Put them to the side and add our battery. Okay. Try it again. Our simple design for our T-shaped mini racer moves somewhat. We have to do some troubleshooting to get it going the way we really want it to go. So, to recap, we have a mini racer without a motor that moves on its own steam. We have a mini racer with a propeller that moves, all works in progress. And we have a mini racer, a symbol design that moves. In another video, we'll spend some time troubleshooting each of the mini racers, improving the design, and having an opportunity to race them. I'm Tracy Gray. Thank you for joining me in Pivot with Purpose in STEM. You can like this video and subscribe to this channel for Pivot with Purpose. If you are interested in joining the Pivot with Purpose community, check out the description in the link below for joining my school community. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.